going on, everybody? It's Weather with Jonathan here, back again with another weather forecast. And in this video, we are going to be talking about the severe weather outbreak and potential tornado outbreak that will take place across the southeastern U.S. today. So here's what you need to know. So starting off with our severe weather outlooks today, because they do look pretty bad, you can see we have two enhanced risks across one across northeastern Illinois and northwestern Indiana and a tiny sliver of southwestern Michigan, and then another enhanced risk stretching from southeastern Missouri all the way to southwestern Ohio, and this enhanced risk includes portions of northern Kentucky, southern Illinois, and Indiana. So for every single state that I listed under that enhanced risk, you are under a 10% hatched risk of tornadoes. Now, if you are in that enhanced risk, you are under that 10% hatched risk of tornadoes. If you are anywhere else in the slight risk, except for central Michigan, you can expect a 5% tornado chance. And then anywhere outside of that, you can expect around a 2% tornado risk. So you can see the wind risk. We do have a 30% significant wind risk in northeastern Illinois, northwestern Indiana, and southwestern Michigan currently in effect. Now, the significant severe does extend all the way down into the tip of the end of the other enhanced risk, and also you could expect the significant severe anywhere in northern, central, and southern Indiana, southern Illinois, southeastern Missouri, and extreme northwestern Kentucky. So now we're going to look at our wind outlook. Sorry, the last one was hail. This thing rearranged it terribly. But for our wind outlook today, we only have a 15% risk for central and northern Ohio, northern Indiana, northeastern Illinois, and southern Michigan. Now, we also do have that a 15% risk for wind across southern Missouri. And then in southwestern Ohio, northern Kentucky, southern Indiana, southern Illinois, and southeastern Missouri, we have a 30% hatched risk or significant severe risk of wind. So now we're going to get a look of the storms today. So you can see not a whole lot is going on right now. You can see storms have started in northeastern Illinois. Now this is a little far back, but you can see we have snow showers breaking out across southeastern Minnesota, western Wisconsin, the western portion of the upper panhandle or peninsula, of Michigan, stretching all the way up into Ontario. And then a few other snow showers are breaking out across Kansas, northern Kansas, southeastern Nebraska, and central Iowa. You can't see a whole lot on the map, but there is some right now as I am speaking. So this is what it is starting to look like currently. You can see we have all those snow showers along the cold front. Now you can see, I believe this warm front is stretching out like that. And then we have our low pressure center right over here. And then we have, I believe, another one over here. Now you can see here, we have these isolated supercells forming up in Illinois. And this is what the NAM 3K model predicts. It's not the best for severe weather. I tried using the HRRR, but it was starting another run just as I'm speaking. So we are going to use the NAM 3K model. Now, of course, this is not actually what is happening currently. This is not very accurate. But right now, just a pretty much small line of storms is about to enter Chicago. It's going to move down to the south and a tiny bit to the southeast into southern Michigan, northern Indiana, and northern Ohio, this area. And then eventually, by the time it gets to northwestern Ohio, it should be around that big. And then you can see these supercells popping up in southern Illinois currently. We are having some convection starting to pop up over there. So I do believe that part is accurate. So you can see this is 8 p.m. You can see now it isn't the best predicting, but it is decent. So for southern Indiana, you can see these little storms. These are definitely capable of hail, not insanely large hail, but definitely hail. These do pose a damaging wind threat and a significant, actually, tornado risk. And you can see these just get a little worse throughout the night as these supercells move into southwestern Ohio. You can see they're not really clustered, but they're not isolated and discrete. So I think as the night goes on, you may get a downgrade to just a 10% risk for that enhanced risk down there. I think it'll just stay as a 10% risk according to this model. However, it could possibly stay. I think it will stay at 10% for the entire night until the storms move into this area. But yeah, so let's get on with what the supercells will look like later tonight. You can see these storms over here are not really doing much. They are posing a little threat of maybe some very small hail and a few wind gusts, maybe up to 35, 40 miles per hour. You can see some ice and wintry mix. Precipitation is breaking out across the upper peninsula of Michigan and the eastern coast of Wisconsin, and then that snow or that cold front, I don't know what happened there, but that cold front with all that snow is gonna move southeastward into Missouri, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Michigan. So you can see right now those storms in southeastern Illinois, if I have not already said it, they have matured a little bit as they move into southwestern Indiana. And then those supercells that originally popped up in Illinois and had moved east, they are now mostly a line of storms you can see here moving into southwestern Ohio. Now, I think this will continue to get a little bigger and then fizzle out. But you can see this is midnight tonight. And these storms will start to fizzle out. They will start to fizzle out around midnight, but they won't fizzle out a whole lot until around 1 a.m. You can see there is still a line of storms from that back line of supercells that originally popped up in Missouri. That is in southeastern Indiana. Those are very small, may pose a damaging wind and hail threat. Maybe a couple tornadoes with those. And then this line of storms in southeastern Ohio may pose just a damaging wind threat and a little bit of hail. And then these storms will really fizzle out around 2 to 3. You can see where some tornadoes originally touched down in Illinois. You can see Chicago's getting snowed heavily on. And actually, if you guys want to look at the snow precipitation totals, I will show you. Now, I don't think it'll be an insanely big snowstorm. I think it'll just be a light dusting. Maybe like 100 miles. No, more like 75, 80, 90 miles south of Kansas City, maybe a little southeast. Maybe 3 to 4 inches, apparently this model is saying. I don't really believe that. But anywhere in the northern the northern peninsula of Michigan, you can expect 1 inch to 4 inches of snow from this. With central Wisconsin, 1 inch to 2 inches. Central Illinois, 1 inch. Northwestern Indiana, 2 inches. Southwestern Michigan, 2 inches. And northern Michigan, on the other hand, you could expect potentially up to 1 inch to maybe about 9 to 10 inches of snow. Now that is crazy, but believe it or not, I think you guys could get some snow. I think the NAM 3K model is a little bit overpowering this. I think you can maybe get about 6 inches in northern Michigan potentially tonight. So you can see we also might get a light dusting up to 2 inches of snow in southwestern Kentucky, southern Illinois, and southwestern Indiana. So now let's just look at the dynamics of this storm real quickly. So you can see the dew points right here. Right now the dew points are around 60 in the northern enhanced risk. Oopsies, I do not know what happened there. But you can see 60s dew points for every single enhanced risk area. Maybe in southwestern Kentucky, conditions in terms of dew points could reach about 62, 63, and then around 60 in northeastern Illinois and northwestern Indiana. And now I'm just going to show you an update on the CAPE, CAPE, convective available potential energy. And you can see there is not a terrible amount, but there is not enough for these storms to warrant like a moderate or high risk of severe weather. Now you can see you are getting anywhere from 1,000 to 1,400 across this area of the U.S., especially central and southern Michigan, eastern Illinois, western Indiana, southwestern Kentucky, and southeastern Missouri. So this will help the storms mature. And it does carry down into Arkansas, Texas, and southeastern Oklahoma. But that shouldn't do anything because no storms are expected there. Maybe a few like thunderstorms and some heavy rain, but I don't think you guys will get anything down there. So thank you guys for coming and watching this video. I really appreciate the extra support lately. It really does mean a lot to me. Please remember to hit that subscribe button, that like button, and consider sharing this video with family and friends. And also check out my latest post in the community section. It was my improved forecast for today, which was sort of right. It was pretty close. So yeah, thank you guys for coming and watching, and I'll see you in my next video, which will hopefully be in about 2-3 days.